Hey YouTubers, it's Jerry from Grandpa's RCs. Just doing an update on my axial Jeep Unlimited Rubicon. Just got it in a couple of days yesterday. I'm already doing some modifications. I've watched some videos on YouTube where people have moved the battery forward closer up towards the front axle. If you are familiar with this car, you will know that normally the battery sits in the back here, and this little kind of wire plastic framing piece goes in there. Actually, this will sit in there this way, and then your actual battery tray itself will sit on top of that. So by the configurations I've done, I've actually eliminated this part. You no longer even need to use it. Yeah, so the radio box originally used to mount right here, and it would sit up into this point of the area of the car. I just took it off, and you have to turn it 180 degrees, and then this was mounting points for that the battery tray with the little frame you bolted on there, and then when you put the battery tray itself on top of that, it actually bolted here and on a spot on that frame. Yeah, because the speed controller, it sits really close to the transmission right here. It's not like crammed in or anything, but it's like right there. It's, there's not really much room, if any at all, in there, but it's not forced in there. So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. But we'll see. I haven't test drove this yet since I've done the configurations. Now for the for the battery tray, I seen one of the other videos I seen where they have taken the rock slider mounting bracket, which would normally sit here, and then this would just sit off of those posts, and these are the posts right here I'm talking about. They screw onto the frame, as well as it kind of holds some of the upper control arms. So what I did is I just took it, and you drill a hole into the frame itself right here where it screws in. You just drill a hole into your frame, you mount that slider bracket, the rock slider bracket, and then from the top half of the mounting plate, where the screws originally went through the holes, you just screw it into here. And that seemed to work out pretty good. Now in the other video I seen with somebody doing it this way, they didn't have a spacer here, but I found that it was too tight, and these pieces were bending in, and I didn't like that, so I just put a little spacer there. So if you don't care about having your rock sliders, then you could do this whole thing for free. All you need to do is just drill 2 holes, one on each side of the frame, to mount those things on there. Now for the battery, I'll just kind of show you with the battery out of there. Okay, so now the original mounting holes I was talking about, that's one of them, and and that's the other one right there. And it works perfect. It's nice and tight. You can lift the whole car by it. It doesn't affect it any. So which is a good thing. It's amazing what you can learn just by what other people do. And then I just kind of take everybody else's ideas and sort of implement them into my own way. Now, when this box is up in the front, it's actually, you have to turn it 180 degrees in order to mount it. These mounting holes right here were the original mounting holes for that wire frame. And then for the wires to be able to come out, since the car was kind of designed to have the wires running on this side of the car, which would be the driver's side, I just cut a little notch in the box itself so I could run the wires out this way without getting pinched. And by doing this, you could actually still leave the original on-off switch in its location. So I didn't have to do anything like that. I didn't have to dismount the ESC from the radio box. It's still, I think it's just two-sided tape holding it in place, if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't pulled it off, so I really don't know for a fact. Now, if you want your rock sliders, then you're going to have to order the new parts. Oops, sorry, let me get this out of the way. And you will have to reorder these pieces right here. So that you can put your rock sliders back on. And I will be ordering those parts because I do want my rock sliders on there. Right here is, I don't know exactly what it is or why they were there, but I'm just taking a guess because these were already mounted on the car when I got them. And they're just like some kind of a wire clip holders or something. So for the wires from the front servo, I just kind of wire tied it underneath here on one of those rock slider posts that I put there, and then just snap the wires inside there and run it into the radio box. So it really was pretty hassle-free. I mean, you could just take some screws out and replace them. Now for the screws here, I did have to find my own. You know, I got tons of screws, so I just replaced those with what I have in my own stock. The steering servo I will be eventually replacing, but I ordered these front steering pieces, the linkages, you know, like this rod that goes all the way from tire to tire, this one that goes from the servo to that. I ordered them the STRC brand, and it's basically just aluminum tubing with you just put ball ends on there. So when those parts come, then I'll switch out my steering servo, because just from what I could see on the other YouTube videos, that I guess that steering servo is not so great, you know. And I didn't seem to have no problems when I was doing my little test bashing in the front yard, but eventually I will be replacing it, something more better. One of the other things I found, though, is it hasn't been a problem yet, but when it's turned all the way in, you can see it gets pretty close to it right there, but there is no rubbing, and that's suspension full droop with the tire turned in. And the same thing for the other side too. This one seems to be a little closer, but I think we're going to be okay. Other than that, I just kind of wanted to show you what I did for my upgrades, just to move the battery forward so we could have better traction up front, help prevent this thing from tipping backwards when you're climbing up on the hills, you know. One of the things I did notice, though, here, I know, folks, I'm sorry, my lighting's really bad in here, but when it's all the way down to full droop on the suspension, it does look like the battery tray is going to rub on the drive shaft here. So I'll have to wait to see how that works out, if that's going to become a problem. I really don't see this thing being at complete full droop all the time. Or, I'm sorry, you know, compressed all the time. So I'll have to see if there's any rubbing issues. If so, then I may just do a little notch out right here, just to alleviate that. Other than that, I mean, it's still pretty basically stock. Like I said, I've only had this car for like 24 hours now, and you know, I'm just trying to make things better and perform better. I will be sticking with the 1.9 rims and tires on there. I may switch out the rims and tires later down the road, but I would still want to keep it the same size, because this is the only car I have that has 1.9s on there. Everything else I have is either 2.0s or 2.2s or bigger, you know. So let's see. So I guess I'm going to call it good for now. I'll keep you guys updated on the upgrades as I go along. And thank you, and you have a good day, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button or subscribe. If you don't, hit the dislike. It's all the same. Thank you, and have a good day.